Ah, welcome back to the White Time channel. Today, in Rainbows, Radiohead. Wheel. Radiohead it is.
Radiohead.
This might look a little familiar. Probably not to
Really?
many of you, actually. Okay, there's a lot of disclaimers before we do this, so stick with me here. This week's episode was supposed to be New Order. We filmed
It
that,
was?
and my computer crashed at the last 2 minutes and corrupted the entire recording, so we have zero footage of the album.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about New Order in our retrospective, which should be coming in a few weeks. So we'll go in depth a little bit in that retrospective. But it's unfortunate. It happens. Really great album. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be in a different format. So that's the first thing. So that's why you're seeing this video this week. Second thing, we've already reacted to this album on the channel. You're not going to be able to find it after this video goes live because I'm going to unlist it. It was one of our first reactions on this channel, and I hated it. Not the album. I hated how I presented myself in the video. And I feel like we've come a long way, both in music taste and in the way we talk about things. So I'm like, this is one that I feel like we did not give a fair shake because I did not discuss really any of the reasons why I love this record or why it's great. I don't know why I just kind of gave you the floor and just kind of nodded along, but that's kind of how that reaction went for some reason. And I'm thinking, you'll enjoy this a lot more now than you did almost 3 years ago at this point.
Probably.
So I might insert some clips of that old reaction just to see the differences because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of differences. And just see an updated version of this. So
Well, I think it's probably important context to note that in that original reaction that we were doing was a kind of follow-up to our
yes.
series that we did where we reviewed the top 50 Rolling Stone album of the year. Came out in 2021. We did 2 videos where we listened to all 50 of those albums and then rated them. And I was not very hot on Radiohead. You were very hot on Radiohead. And so when we started this series, we were like, okay, well, this is like your best shot of liking Radiohead. And so I think that's probably why it was set up that way.
Yes.
Because at that point you had done your deep dive and like listened to all their stuff. I was like, well, that's why we did it that way. But
yeah,
now we have a new format. It'll probably be better this
new format, fresh ears. I don't think you've heard any of it since. So
no,
it might be a first reaction. You'll be like, oh, I kind of remember that. But yeah, I think this is the best shot at like getting into Radiohead. I think Moonshaped Pool would actually do pretty well for you as well, but I'd rather redo In Rainbows quick. And if you're enjoying it, we can do another one later down the line.
I do. I've heard a couple songs on Moonshaped Pool, and I do like them quite a bit.
They're very pretty. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else after all that disclaimer. But I think we can just jump right in. 15 Step, track 1.
of the street.
15 Step.
I think that was pretty good. Yeah, I don't remember what I said. Maybe I should have rewatched the video
You don't want to
before
do
doing this.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I will say I think that this is, I mean, I know that y'all haven't seen the video yet, but I think it is kind of fitting that we're doing this after doing the New Order album
Mhm.
because I feel very similarly to Radiohead than I do this New Order album that we just reacted to, that only we have seen.
You never get to
And
see
that
it.
yes, I really, really love the instrumentals that Radiohead does. I mean, they're like a bunch of weird, nerdy dudes that are super into music theory. I get that this is like their most accessible album. At least that's what you tell me,
For the most
except for
part.
like Pablo Honey,
I like the bends, but
which
I
is
don't
the
want you to get
best.
90s rock with the bends. I don't.
No, I don't think I would like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think instrumentally it was really fun, really interesting what they were doing, kind of mixing this like dance thing in the beginning and then making it more of a traditional rock song as the song goes. But, and this is going to be a hot take, I do not like Tom York's voice. Um, but, and I'm all of what I'm saying I just said in the New Order thing, but it's like I really don't like the kind of like hangs in the falsetto, really ethereal, kind of glammy stuff. I'm
Mhm.
like, it doesn't resonate with me in the way that I think it does for a lot of people. But I know that like, you know, some of the songs like Weird Fishes or something, that doesn't bother me, but for some reason this song I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I think
But
his
I did
vocal
like it.
inflections are like varied a lot on this record.
Okay.
So I think we get a lot of variety on it. But yeah, 15 Step is fantastic. I can't disconnect this from the Twilight movie because it was just such a stark contrast when that movie ends and 15 Step just starts playing.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
don't remember that.
it was so weird. But yeah, this song is fantastic. I love the mixing of the electronics and the more traditional rock sound that they have here. I feel like this record's a
Mhm.
blend of all the stuff they've done. The guitar tones on this record are unmatched. They are so warm and inviting and just sound so incredibly good. I still get goosebumps when that first drop comes in and the guitars start. You get these great arpeggios going. This 5/4 time signature is fantastic. I love Tom's lyricism. He's one of my favorites when it comes to that. It's so simple, but at the same time, it's so clever. Vocal inflection wise, he does great. He's definitely one of those guys that just kind of like loses it over a track. His voice goes everywhere. He's very free flowing, kind of jazz like in his kind of inflection on a lot of these songs. I think watching the From the Basement version of In Rainbows is pretty eye opening because you just get to see him like lose it in the music, and he does like Talking Head style like dance as he's like doing these songs. It's really weird. But yeah, this song is fantastic. I love all the different turns it takes. It really invites you into the record with this kind of like weird dance, rock fusion here. So yeah, really great. All right, Body Snatches, track 2.
I do not understand what it is. I don't know for the whole. I'm trapped in this body, can't get out.
Body Snatchers.
That
was the
was
loud song.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, I feel a little overwhelmed. But I didn't hate it. And you know me, I don't like distorted guitars. I don't like hard rock. Man, that slapped so hard though. That is like,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, that had such an energy to it. It was just so electric. Just an absolute banger.
Yeah.
So fun.
I was like, Body Snatchers was like near the bottom for me for the longest time until it finally clicked. I don't know what happened. I feel like I was more drawn to like the smooth, arpeggiated, just watery guitars. But having 15 step with all the smoothness, and then you just get this chunky guitar, the energy that is carried, so much of is on Tom, and like the way he interacts with this instrumental, he brings so much confidence and energy to it, and you can tell they're just having a great time. It feels like a jam session, but everything is so intricate and well placed. It's like
Yeah.
math nerds just like doing these like complex equations, like laid back having fun. It's such a cool track. I love the like kind of dream pop bridge area, but the energy still keeps going and building and building. And you get this like kind of jazz like scatting from Tom again, just like going over this instrumental. It's such a cool like twist to it. Yeah, fantastic. Body Snatchers is great.
Yeah.
Alrighty, complete opposite, Nude, track 3.
All right.
You paint yourself wide and feel annoyed. There'll be something missing. You got off the so don't get big ideas for your dizzy mind is thinking.
Nude.
Man. What was I thinking?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't if I said I hated that song or whatever in
I
the
don't know.
last
I'll post the clip
reaction.
and we'll see what.
Well, that was very nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite so far.
He did do a vocal thing.
He did the vocal thing.
Man, I was such a dumb, stupid baby idiot. That song is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, like the bass groove is like so solid throughout the entire thing, which is something I hardly ever talk about. But man, it was just all right there in the forefront. You got those silky smooth, like John Mayer guitars going.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is the setting where like Tom's voice was made for.
Yep.
It feels like wow, just like all those elements. And then that outro, that's some of the best I've ever heard. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, Nude is a masterpiece, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's like always put in the best Radiohead tracks. Everything about this song is so delicate and like interesting. Like you get such an intimate vocal from Tom, but you also have this bass like going in your left ear, and everything just carries the track so well. The way he like swerves in and out of this instrumental is so insane. He plays as an instrument, but he's also still doing these fantastic vocal runs. It's just like you get the rawness and the chunkiness of Body Snatchers, and then you just go into like the most smooth, ascendant, like chill track you've ever heard in your life. Yeah, it's a phenomenal track. It's one where it's like there's not a lot of words to describe it. It's just like you get it or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal. Alrighty, Weird Fishes, Arpeggi.
In the deepest ocean, the bottom of the sea. Yes, they tell me tell me you're the phantom I follow to the end of the earth. Is my chance. I get eaten by the worms and wet fishes. At the bottom of the
Weird Fishes.
Song was all right.
Still the best song.
I don't know if I have a whole lot to add about that one. I feel like it's pretty good, but everyone knows it's pretty good. I think
Yeah.
my only take is that it should be longer.
Okay.
I
agree.
would almost want like a 7 minute or 8 minute version of that where like because like it's this huge build to something. Like right at the end, I'm like, oh, it just ends.
Mhm.
Like I almost want more. I want like a more and more and more. But which I guess is a mark of a good song. If a
Yes.
song leaves you wanting more, then it's like, oh, that's a testament to how great it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
phenomenal song.
This song is like one of the best songs ever made. It's really crazy how often I've heard this song. I've heard it dozens upon dozens of times, and it still hits me like the first time every time I listen to it, and it's absolutely incredible. I don't listen to In Rainbows a whole lot. It's one of the Radiohead records I go back to the least, which is weird because it is great. I'm really seeing how great it is now, though. Again, it's like I'm reintroduced to it. Like all the notes and everything are exactly where I left them, but like the emotional impact and the warmth and the lingering is still so poignant when you listen to it. just the combination of all these arpeggios and the drum line, which is crazy, and the bass groove, all of it is like on its own pace, but at the same time, everything meshes together without being too complex or too overbearing. And you get this beautiful crescendo. Yeah, this whole track is just phenomenal. It is absolutely perfect. I don't know what else to say to like sell it. It's just one of those where it's like, this is like magic. I don't know how people even conceived of this track. But yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Alrighty. All I Need, track 5.
You are all I need. You're all I need. I'm in the middle of your picture, lying in the reeds. I am a moth, lying in the reeds.
All I Need.
Man, I need all these songs to go for like another minute. It's like these can't just keep. They stop. They just end. Like I need these to keep going, which is so weird. That's probably the opposite of what I said in the original. But yeah, no, I thought that one was pretty good. Like the whole time I was like focused on the drums, which is weird because they weren't doing anything super crazy. But I was just drawn to them for whatever reason, and I was just having a good time vibing out. And I was like, okay, this is a pretty. I mean, it's a nice little come down from Weird Fishes, where it is this giant kind of song, and I was like, okay, we need a little come down after that. But then that ending just kind of blows that theory because man, that ending was phenomenal. But yeah, all of these, I'm like, I just need these to go longer.
Yeah, and I think it flows more naturally when you just listen to the whole record without us having to pause. I feel like
Sure.
the switches in direction like work a lot better. But yeah, it's like this album like keeps you wanting more, which is weird because it's not a negative and it's not a positive. It's like I just want a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, All I Need is great. I think when it comes to the slower songs on this record, I do prefer House of Cards, but I think this is also a great moment. I love that kind of like chunky bass line. The drums are fantastic. Yeah, it's a nice ride throughout the whole record. You get these really soft, delicate moments, and then this is kind of in between where you got a little bit of texture going on. Tom does fantastic as always. I read this song always as like a better version of what Creep could have been with the same kind of subject matter, but I much prefer this. So, alrighty.
Sure.
Fostarp, track 6.
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. It's on again, off again, on again. Watch me fall like dominoes in pretty patterns. Fingers in the backbone pie and tingling, tingling, tingling. It's what you feel now, what you ought to, what you ought to. Tumbling, tumbling, tumbling. Duplicate and triplicate and plastic bags and duplicate and triplicate. There from the neck up, I guess I'm stuck, stuck, stuck. We thought you had it in you, but no, no, no. Exactly where do you get up? There's a
Faustarp.
Yeah, I think that one's my favorite.
Yeah. That one's hypnotic, and I don't know why.
That one's fun. Pretty good. Pretty short. I mean, I think a string section is always welcome. I do love a good string section, and I also love an acoustic guitar. So, kind of like a match made in heaven for me. I think, yeah, the only thing is that it's only 2 minutes.
Yep.
But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I love Faustarp. That's one of my favorites. Again, yeah, the blending of the acoustic guitar with the orchestration and everything, it just blends so well together. You get these nice warm tones, but it's different than the electric guitar we've been hearing.
Yeah.
Tom does fantastic on this song. I love his enunciation that plays with the instrumental. It all feels just like one cohesive piece. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. This is more of the soundscape of what you get on a Moonshaped Pool. This is just like a very early precursor to it. It is a lot softer with a lot more orchestration and a lot of these builds and falls. But yeah, fantastic. All right. Reckoner, track 7.
I hardly know her.
I swear if we made the same joke.
We probably did. So that was Reckoner.
Reckoner.
Frankly, I hardly know her.
Oh. Ooh, that was
Yeah.
good. That was good. Why didn't I think of
Hey.
that? That's crazy.
I know that's a you
That's
bit
my
right
thing.
there.
Because we separate ripples on a
Reckoner.
Tom York is underutilized. He's just chilling in one spot. That one was pretty good too. Again, I don't know if I have a whole lot to say about it. I mean, I think the thing that kind of jumped out to me were those vocal harmonies. I feel like we haven't been getting a lot of those. And if you watched our Fleet Foxes video, you know how I feel about those. Big plus. So I like that. I like the string section. I want more orchestration. So, yeah, I think that one was a winner.
I see a Moonshaped Pool in our future because that's like my favorite Radiohead album. It switches every week, but it's in the top 3 that I think are perfect. Reckoner is fantastic. Again, it's one of those where it's like I don't pay it that much attention unless I'm listening to the full record, and then I realize how good it is every time, but for some reason I don't return to it a whole lot. Which I think enhances it because it does feel new and different every time. But again, I love the percussion. I love the shaker, how close it is. It's such a striking instrumental. And the way it kind of twists and turns is fantastic. I love when then the piano comes in, the bass comes in as well, builds at that low end before you get hit with orchestration. Everything just feels like a nice warm wave of sound. And Tom's just going crazy over this instrumental. I love when he kind of just loses himself in it sometimes and you start getting these like crazy harmonies and falsetto runs. Yeah, I love the harmonies in the chorus. I love that double tracking of his low register with his high register. It creates a really nice, I don't know. It sounds fantastic. It's phenomenal. So, alrighty. House of Cards, track 8.
No matter how it ends, no matter how it starts, forget about your house of cards, and now the mind gets swept on you. Infrastructure will collapse from voltage spikes. Falls the table, guess where
House of Cards.
I was gonna make a Kevin Spacey joke, but it wouldn't have worked. I was confusing him with my good friend Bill Cosby. I was gonna say you could tell that was a Kevin Spacey production because it put me to sleep.
Yikes.
I like that one. I don't think that one is like super high up there for me, but I don't dislike it by any means. I was kind of getting vibes from another album that we did. It was very, very early in our YouTube career. I kind of got Siegfried vibes from Blonde, just in how soaked everything is and that reverb. Obviously, Siegfried doesn't have any drums or
Much of
electric guitar,
anything.
much of anything.
Yeah.
But just kind of the background. I guess I don't even know what was going on. Some sort of drones and synths all in the background and how reverb Tom's vocals are. That's how I was kind of getting that. Which, we probably won't react to Blonde.
No, I think we both love that album, and I think it's a decent enough reaction.
Yeah, I think it would just be like, oh, this song is perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know
much.
what else to say. Which I have come around to Siegfried. I know I was not very positive on it in the reaction. It's not my favorite song, but it is. I don't dislike it. So
That's good progress.
I like both of those. Yeah.
Yeah, House of Cards is fantastic. This is definitely one that like kind of grows on you as you listen to the record. There's so many little details in here that are like very subtle, which I really love. A lot of the stuff popping out at me that I haven't really, thought of before. You have like these fantastic kind of crunchy, noisy guitars, but they're in the background to create this really like kind of pixelated texture almost. I don't know. It feels like you're floating in the depths of space. There's enough texture there where it's not just a completely watery instrumental.
Yeah.
The blend of all those things coming together just creates this fantastic soundscape that feels natural and organic. It's a really cool trick. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to that. I think Tom's vocal performance is fantastic. I love how warm the guitar tones are. This whole song just sounds like a warm hug. And the whole record kind of does that, but you have these like contrasting themes of like breakups and relationships and moving on and like this existential kind of vibe to it still. Yeah. House Cards is brilliant, though. All right. Jigsaw falling into place. Track 9. There's no way you'll like this one.
Really?
No way.
Well, it's already a winner.
Yeah.
Just as you take my hand, just as you write my number down, just as the drinks arrive, just as they play your favorite song, as your bladder disappears. No longer wind up like a spring before you had too much. Come back and focus again.
Jigsaw falling into place.
That song was very good.
I love that song.
Yeah. I like the groove. Tom York killed it. And the vocals. You get my seal of approval on that song. That needs to be 8 minutes long. Man, that I thought that Body Snatchers was gonna be the best slapper on here, but man, man, that's so good. I don't even know how to describe it. Wow. Yeah, I that kind of does the like Weird Fishes thing where it's this huge building thing and it leaves you wanting more. But Weird Fishes a minute longer. I could have, man, I'm just so angry that this should be longer.
Yeah.
But man, that's so good.
Yeah, that song is a masterpiece. It's perfect. It's one of my favorites. I think this stands on the same level as Weird Fishes, and not a lot of songs can do that. Again, the energy carried is incredible. It's like every single member of the group is on the same wavelength when it comes to that. There's such like a natural crescendo and build of energy here that you can't place it. It just kind of happens. You have these beautiful layers coming in as the track goes. If you start a guitar with your song, like a guitar like that, when you start the song, like it's game over. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah.
But the way it builds is fantastic. Yeah, it's one of the. I don't think there's another band that could make a song like this. It's so fun and effortless. Like it's so fun to a point where it doesn't feel like as Radiohead as it should. It's like the song's having a little bit too much fun, but there is this kind of like dark undertone of like this drunken club scene as the song kind of just spirals into this like insane like layering of textures and sounds. Yeah, one of my favorites. Again, precursor to Moonshaped Pool. There's present tense on that one that has the same kind of dance theme to it that I also love. So whenever they do that, I'm like 100% in. So phenomenal. Alrighty, we got one more videotape, track 10.
When I'm at the pearly gates, this will be on my videotape, my videotape. This is one for the good days, and I have it all here in red, blue, green, and red, blue, green. Happens now, you shouldn't be afraid, 'cause I know today has been the most perfect day I've ever seen.
Videotape.
Pretty solid closer. I don't know if that's like, you know, one of my favorite songs so far. I mean, they're doing a lot of interesting things there. I mean, I don't even know how to describe what they're doing with
Yeah.
the percussion. It's like they have a woodpecker set up in the left channel or something. Why is there a woodpecker in the left ear?
I never thought of it as a woodpecker.
And I'm sure a bunch of music nerds are able to break that down better than I ever could. But I think it's a pretty good kind of culmination. Well, not even. It's not even a real culmination. I think it's just a pretty good ender for everything that's come before. So,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
solid.
I think Videotape's a masterpiece. It's crazy. This is one of these many songs that they've previewed at concerts like years ahead of time, and then they take all this time to find the exact right place for it. When you hear it, it's completely different than what they did live. Just like this really stripped back piano ballad, but it's never that simple with Radiohead. You have to have these syncopated drum machines and all of this weird percussion coming in. It's like you lose track of the beat and you kind of dissociate as this track goes on. It creates like a really, really kind of like dizzying, anxious effect, but at the same time, the warm tones are still there. It's a really weird combination, but that's one that Radiohead does. It's always going to be off kilter a little bit. But yeah, I love how the song de-evolves. Again, it's kind of like True Love Waits on Moonshaped Pool. You have the song for how many years and you've kept it shelved. You're not putting it out yet. And then when you do hear it, it's kind of a straightforward, simple piano ballad, but there's so many little intricate details that just make it phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I love how it kind of separates at the end, and it sounds a little bit like King of Limbs when it starts getting all those syncopated little drum machines and all the kind of plays between those. I don't think we'll ever do King of Limbs because you would hate that so much.
Okay.
I know that album is controversial. I love it, but it's definitely weird. But yeah, Videotape is a masterpiece.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's the record.
Well, then I guess, yeah, the album as a whole, I'll probably put it at a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I was definitely a dumb idiot baby because this is pretty G-dang solid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a whole lot to say about the album as a whole. I feel like I've done a pretty good job describing why I like each track. I think I'm probably gonna have to go back and listen to this album without pausing. But yeah, I mean, that does kind of make me want to revisit OK Computer and Kid A because I did not like those albums very much when I listen to them, and I know that they're like some of the most critically acclaimed albums of all time. I'm like, well, if I like this, I might give those two albums another shot.
Mhm.
And whether or not that's on this channel or not, I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah, I'm
I
definitely
think-
down to do Moonshaped Pool.
I think a Moonshaped Pool will be right up your alley, and I'd love to talk about that record. So we could always
Okay.
do that further down the line.
Sure.
In Rainbows, near perfect rock album from the 2010s, 2000s,
2007.
the 20s,
The Oots.
the Oots.
But yeah, this record is near perfect. It's fantastic. I forget. It's one of these records, for some reason, I always forget how good it is until I put it on again. And then I'm like, oh my God, this deserves all the praise that it gets. But I don't return to it as much, which is weird. But it is phenomenal, near perfect. I feel like all of these tracks are so unique, and there's a lot of variety on this record. And one of their most, it's weird to say the most straightforward, but it is one of the most easy to get into. You get these fantastic arpeggios and everything throughout. It's like one of the best mixed albums I've ever heard. Everything just sounds so good. But yeah, some of the best songs ever on here. I think Weird Fishes and Jigsaw are my favorites. They kind of tied. They give the same kind of vibe, but yeah, phenomenal, fantastic. I'm glad we returned to it. I'll do a whole bunch of editing magic and throw some edits in here, and we should have some funny moments, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be interested to watch this video
Yeah.
just to see how it compares to
Yeah.
the old one.
Yeah, a couple months ago I watched it, and I'm like, ooh, we need to redo this album like now. Because as a huge Radiohead fan, I feel like I was doing myself a disservice with that
True.
video. But yeah, much better this time around. But yeah, let us know if there's any other albums you want us to revisit. It's kind of a cool area to do.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how tastes evolve, especially since like back then, I feel like a lot of our top 50 Rolling Stone albums list would be absolutely different if we did it today. I remember
That's
the
true.
Velvet Underground Banana album I hated, but now I'd put it in like the top 10 probably. So it changes a lot. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. We will be back next week with the new Sir album. I forgot the
Really?
name of it.
I don't know.
But we'll do that one. And then we have Adrian Lenker's new album after that. So we got a lot of new releases coming to you. Then we'll probably hit you with a retrospective because we got a lot of albums to talk about. I think we'll be at like
We sure do.
14.
Yeah.
And then from there, we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be your wheel time after, finally.
I think so. And for all the Bab Jab fans out there, he will be
there's
there
no
for Adrian Lenker.
Okay.
So
This
yeah,
is news
that to
me.
look forward to.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Be interesting having us three reacting to a probably pretty sad album, knowing who's making.
That's true.
It's all jokes when there's three of us up in here. So we'll see how it goes.
Bab Jab brings it out of
He
us.
really does. But yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, whatever, go find someone else. I don't care. But yeah, we'll do. This is counted as my album that I wanted to show the channel. So we'll do another one of these in like a month or two. And I think we're bringing back the wheel for the rest of them. So
Yes.
yeah, I feel like I
Love
just
the
wanted to
wheel.
get the Billy Woods and Radiohead out of the way, and now we can completely randomize it again. So
Sure.
yes, sir. I don't have anything else. We have a podcast, I guess, if you enjoy that kind of
We
thing.
do.
So
We do. Talk about movies and TV shows. We have a couple features out if you're interested in us just talking about one thing. So if you're interested in Blue Velvet or Disco Elysium, those are on the podcast channel. I don't know what the next one's going to be. We've
I
yet
don't
to
know. We haven't decided. that yet.
decide, but I like doing those, and
Mhm.
I like doing the main podcast stuff too.
I
all a
like
bunch of
doing it
fun.
all.
I do.
But yeah,
We have fun here.
we have fun here.
That's a callback to the beginning of the channel.
Yeah, I feel like we probably said that in that video like 3 times. Oh God, I hope we didn't make the same jokes.
Oh, I'm sure we did.
Yeah,
I'm sure we did.
great. All right. Bye.